for the second half of Snarl from Winter Park, Florida. Glad you're back. Wally Cardinal, Johnny Bianco, and guest commentator Chicago, Danny Awesome. We've got 3 matches coming up. 2 of them are championship matches, and all of them are absolutely massive. So, Johnny, is there gonna be a stronghold after party tonight? You look like you were having a blast.
Sylvia said it was a title match with the originals, and well, I can't say no. And yes, it was just awesome seeing John and Guy in action that blows up.
All right, glad we got you back for the second half. And we start with ladies tag action with Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, back tonight against Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman, the UK ladies.
This next ladies tag contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, the team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter.
Gentlemen, there is all kinds of stuff wrong with this. I'm gonna let you pick it apart because you know what's going on.
Bet, let me start. First off, those belts. They aren't official anything. They don't belong to these two, and I'm sure they're $300 duplicates. Very rude to do your first time back in months. Tex would hit the ceiling if he saw this, and I'm sure, as acting GM, Byron's gonna have something to say about it.
And they're mimicking the entrance of the Meneve sisters, the twin goddesses from Japan 5-Star Wrestling, arrogant little cuss and cusses. The belts, though, that's the prime offense. Tex will not appreciate this at all.
Gosh, and now they're playing his Christmas music.
Their opponents from Sussex, England, Grace Fenwick, and from Brisbane, Australia, Jessica Goldman, the UK ladies.
I don't know, guys. I think it does kind of give up the vibe of the holiday season, doesn't it?
Tex says Johnny totally sold on it. Anyway, the actions of Kaden Carter and Katana Chance will not only anger the front office, but the ladies' locker room is going to be even less appreciative of the jokes. They truly have committed a big-time sin. Way disrespectful.
And let me add, given the UK ladies' nature and their sadistic style, they may start paying the bill right now.
Merry Christmas, Tex, wheresoever you may be.
You know, Tex was right. You guys are terrific. All right, Kaden Carter and Grace Fenwick starting us off here. The referee rings the bell. Kaden Carter with a right spins Grace Fenwick around. Slams her down one arm. Goes for an immediate cover. 1. But no. A little bit too early. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. I don't believe they had the nerve to do that. It stuns the mind, guys.
That's how it is in the wrestling business outside of what we do. All decorum just gone out the window. Sorry, Danny. Please continue.
Okay, Grace Fenwick catches a kick from Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter with a snap mare and a drop kick to the side of the head of Grace Fenwick. And here comes Katana Chance. Katana Chance catches a knee from Grace Fenwick. Fenwick has her up, sit out powerbomb. Katana Chance counters with a shot. Locks up Grace Fenwick. Grace Fenwick counters with elbows. Fenwick locks up Katana Chance. A short series of kicks. And down she goes. Here comes Jessica Goldman. Katana Chance. Look at this, a rebound off the ropes. Jessica Goldman taking down Katana Chance right away. Locks her up. A knee to the head. Jessica Goldman gets a hold of Katana Chance. Smashes her head into the buckle in her team's corner. Here comes Grace Fenwick on the tag. The double team. Double shoulder tackle. Down goes Katana Chance. Short kicks. And a hard shot to the side of the head from Grace Fenwick. And Grace Fenwick, everybody knows that's a sadist. And this is her type. She's probably having a great time in there. Counter kick from Katana Chance, who is beating it out of town. Turning it back over to Caden Carter. Grace Fenwick catching a series of shots from Caden Carter. Spins her around with a right. Whoa! Hard clothesline, spun her around. Here comes Jessica Goldman. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
It's the direct line to the booth. Hasn't been used in years. Hello, broadcast booth.
What the hell are they doing? Alright, I'm gonna do this real quick. I've only got a minute. Yes, Daniel, I'm only gonna be a second. Hang on. Now, first thing, job one. I want those belts taken away from them and destroyed. I never want to see them again. Second, Myra needs to figure out how much a piece they're gonna be fined. That's it. Beyond that, do what you want to do. Hope you're having a great time. Good night, folks.
Wow, that was sudden. But the Tex has spoken, and Caden Carter and Katana Chance will not go unpunished to some degree. Geez, Danny, we're really sorry for all the interruptions, man. Keep on keeping on, as Tex would say.
All right, well, we'll give it another try. Caden Carter with a jawbreaker on Grace Fenwick. Takes her down to the mat. Here comes Katana Chance. Katana Chance moving in on a motionless Grace Fenwick. Snaps the leg. Snaps it again. Katana Chance with Grace Fenwick at a disadvantage. Grace counters with elbows. Backs off Katana Chance. There's a kick. There's another. Oh, man. She's a kicking machine. Drives a knee into the face of Katana Chance. There's a kick that takes her down again. Here comes Jessica Goldman. Jessica Goldman locks up Katana Chance. Hard whip to the ropes. And another knee and another kick. Down goes Katana Chance. Jessica Goldman coming out real aggressive here. The UK ladies with a real mean streak. They like hurting the opponents. You can see it right here. A couple of knees to the back of Katana Chance. Jessica Goldman rounds her back up. Hard forearm. Takes her down again. Jessica Goldman just relentless. Striking and stomping. Rounds up Katana Chance again. Head first into the opposing team's corner. Here comes Grace Fenwick. The hard whip to the ropes. The double shoulder tackle. Katana Chance makes it to her corner. Here comes Caden Carter. Jessica Goldman out of the equation here. Grace Fenwick misses with her move. Caden Carter with a kick to the chest takes her down. Grace Fenwick counters. Moves in on Caden Carter. Short clothesline. Takes her down. And again another quick tag to Jessica Goldman. The UK ladies are a really good team, real solid team. Whatever you think of their philosophies. Caden Carter takes her down with a quick drop kick. Caden Carter, look at this octopus stretch. Grace Fenwick standing guard, but Jessica Goldman counters it. Takes her down with a drop toe hold. Caden Carter locked up. Whipped over the top rope out onto the floor with Katana Chance. Wow. Caden Carter and Katana Chance not looking too hot at the moment. The UK ladies with all the advantage in the world. Jessica Goldman taken to the ropes. Caden Carter bouncing her off the ropes with hard forearms. Down she goes. There's a stomp to the chest and a kick to the back. Caden Carter has to go it alone up here. Off the top rope. Elbow across the chest of Jessica Goldman. Here's a cover. 1, 2. But nope. Jessica Goldman powers out. Caden Carter locked up. Quickly taken down by Jessica Goldman. Schoolyard bully pummeling here. Jessica Goldman moves in. A kick A right misses with the chop. Caden Carter right back into that octopus stretch. The referee checking things out, but Jessica Goldman got it. Another drop toe hold to Caden Carter. Caden Carter charges right back into the octopus stretch. Consistent, if anything else. Grace Fenwick, seen enough, breaks it up. Grace Fenwick misses with the knee. And is slammed face first to the canvas by Caden Carter. And look at this. Now it's the UK ladies looking at a disadvantage. Caden Carter takes Jessica Goldman to her team's corner. Here's the tag to Katana Chance. Jessica Goldman whip to the rope, double drop kick. Katana Chance covers. 1, 2. And the UK ladies have certainly lost the advantage here. Grace Fenwick's laid out. Jessica Goldman has rolled to the outside. Katana Chance in control of Grace Fenwick right now. Head first into the buckle. And here comes Caden Carter again. Hard shot to the midsection to Grace Fenwick. Look at this. Jessica Goldman drives a knee into her head. Goldman charges over the top rope and does not connect. Crash and burn for Jessica Goldman on the high-risk maneuver. Goldman with a kick. Takes down Caden Carter, rolls back into the ring. Willie Johnson still counting Caden Carter. Katana Chance taken down with an enziguri. Caden Carter back in the ring. Jessica Goldman. Both ladies miss with their moves. A series of shots and a dropkick takes down Caden Carter. Katana Chance on the outside, laid out. Jessica Goldman just about done with Caden Carter. Here comes Grace Fenwick. Fenwick with the running kick takes her down hard. Grace Fenwick counter. Caden Carter back up on her feet. Sets her up, drives a knee right into her head. That was a nasty one. Caden Carter follows Grace Fenwick to the outside. Another hard forearm. Grace Fenwick catches a stomp. Caden Carter makes her way back inside. Referee Willie Johnson still counting Grace Fenwick. Caden Carter going after Jessica Goldman too. Look at this middle rope hangman for Jessica Goldman. Again, both UK ladies looking at a serious disadvantage here. Caden Carter rounds up Grace Fenwick. Grace snaps out of it, slams her into the barricade, tags her with a right. Grace Fenwick with Caden Carter. Oh, a boot to the face. Jessica Goldman still laid out. Oh, Caden Carter goes head first into the ring post. If Tex were here, he'd be singing. Oh, Grace Fenwick into the ring post. He would definitely be singing the song. The UK ladies not looking too sharp right now. Caden Carter moves in on Jessica Goldman. Look at this. Grace Fenwick drags her back out onto the floor. Says, I'm not done with you yet. Locks her up. Pitches her towards the ring steps, misses them, but almost makes the barricade. Kick to the midsection from Grace Fenwick. Both ladies decide to take it back inside the ring. Grace with a kick. The right, the left has her up in a backbreaker. Down goes Caden Carter. Here comes Jessica Goldman again. And this match, well, match is carried on for a while. Jessica Goldman leans right hands on the head of Caden Carter. A hard shot to the back. Caden Carter counters, back up on her feet. Goes to, went to her corner, but nobody was there. Oh, look at this. Jessica Goldman starts beating her chest. Gonna nail her with 10 count punches across the chest. Down she goes. Jessica Goldman goes after Katana Chance too. Couple of hard rights. And now she's going to catch the 10 count punches to the chest. Jessica Goldman woke up on fire here. Tags her with a series of hard shots. Down goes Katana Chance. Caden Carter catches a shot to the midsection. Nice fireman's carry from Caden Carter. Caden Carter trying to regain control of things. Takes her down. Jessica Goldman could be in trouble here. Look at this. A possible submission. Grace Fenwick right there to break it up. Grace Fenwick moves back out. Jessica Goldman counters with a kick to Caden Carter. Caden Carter counters with a right. A hard drop kick takes down Jessica Goldman. Jessica Goldman being dragged close to center ring by Caden Carter. Caden Carter steps out. Katana Chance steps in. Grace Fenwick watching with concern. Jessica Goldman starting to take quite a bit of punishment here. Look at this beautiful cross-body splash from Katana Chance. Jessica Goldman counters, locks up Katana Chance. Short clothesline, takes her down. And here comes Grace Fenwick. Both teams tagging real. Whoa! What a shot. Took down Katana Chance. 1, 2. And no. Oh, man, Grace Fenwick's mad. This is going to be very painful for Katana Chance. Oh, there's that wicked running kick she does. There's the cover. 1, 2, but saved by her partner here. Katana Chance saved by Caden Carter. Off the middle rope. Grace Fenwick kind of misses the mark there. Rounds up Katana Chance. Sharp forearm. That was the parting shot. Here comes Jessica Goldman again. Katana Chance seated in the far corner. She counters, gets back up on her feet. Both ladies very quick here. Off the middle rope. Flying fist. Takes down Katana Chance. Caden Carter right there to break up the pin. Jessica Goldman follows up with a stomp to the midsection. Katana Chance takes her down with a counter. Stomps the arm. Katana Chance goes around, grabs the ankles, and there's that spinning Hurricane Rana. Took Jessica Goldman for a ride. Katana Chance. Oh, whoa, that was amazing. Beautiful splash. Here's a cover. Grace Fenwick makes sure it doesn't even get to a 1. Katana Chance. That was an impressive performance right there. Looks like she's going to do it again. Wow. How about this? Here's a cover. No, not even a 1 here either. Katana Chance misses with that one. Jessica Goldman catches a jawbreaker. Jessica Goldman counters. Has Katana Chance up in a fireman's carry position. Boom! Spinning punch, discus punch takes her down. Here comes Grace Fenwick. Guys, this match has gone a long time, and we still ain't got a winner. Gotta be impressed with both of these teams. Grace Fenwick gouging the face of Katana Chance. Caden Carter right there to save the day with a dropkick. Grace Fenwick. Oh, she's lit up. Want to go after her, too. Caden Carter catching it from Grace Fenwick. Anenzaguri takes her down. Katana Chance on the other side of the ring battling Jessica Goldman. Grace Fenwick takes herself to the outside. Taking the long way around. Caden Carter is laid out. Here comes Katana Chance. Catches a kick from Grace Fenwick. Katana Chance counters. Grace Fenwick countered again. Grace Fenwick catching it on the outside from Katana Chance. Caden Carter was laid out near her team's corner earlier. She's out of camera range right now, so I don't know. But Katana Chance gets locked up. Grace Fenwick pitches her towards the opposing corner. Grace Fenwick rounds her up, takes herself back inside. Katana Chance still being counted by the referee. Caden Carter, look at this, Grace Fenwick. She's gone nuts. Over the top rope, turned herself into a human cannonball. Katana Chance, stamping the hair of Grace Fenwick. That's one out of her own playbook. Real sadistic. Kick to the midsection from Grace Fenwick. Grace rolls her back inside the ring, goes after Caden Carter again, but Caden Carter rolls her into the ring. Katana Chance misses with the knee. Grace Fenwick goes behind, hard shot to the midsection. Countered by Katana Chance, who goes behind on Grace Fenwick. Takes her to her team's corner, into the turnbuckle. Here comes Caden Carter again. Look at this. Assisted whip clothesline. Down goes Grace Fenwick. Caden Carter firmly in control here. Grace Fenwick in big time trouble. Caden Carter moves in, takes her down. Winds her up. Snaps the leg. There's the leg lock. The ref checking things out. Nope. No submission. Not that time. Jessica Goldman whipped to the outside. Caden Carter goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's a shocker and an upset. Katana Chance and Caden Carter defeat the UK ladies.
The time, 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, Caden Carter and Katana Chance.
Not only an upset, but a buzzer beater upset for Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Only a minute and a half left in this epic battle against the UK ladies. I'm sure Grace Fenwick and Jessica Goldman can't believe it.
One thing is sure, the arrogant way they came in, coupled with this win, is not going to win any hearts and minds backstage. Folks, we'll be back with more RWL Sn Rl right after the break. We'll see you then.
It's been a rough go for recently arrived Dakota Kai, who scored singles wins over Patty Powers and Danielle Heathcote, only to be stopped cold in her momentum by Jody Vorick, Jeannie Parker, and Les Femmes Fatales. But Jody has made an extra special target out of Dakota Kai, attacking her repeatedly after beating her into consecutive matchups. Well, if there was any doubt, Jody's already stated that she won't stand for Dakota Kai, Blair Davenport, and Carmella, the so-called future endeavor to build any reputation off of established RWL stars, least of all herself. If there was any doubt as to Jody's bad intentions towards Dakota, they were dispelled with this announcement from Jody earlier this week.
Hi out there, lovers. Well, your Memphis Millionaires, your women's international champion, has 'em all talking. I've spoke loud lately, because I want Dakota Kai and her cronies, her pretend counsel, to hear me good. You're trying hard to be something when you're just nothing painted blue. I've made you suffer, yeah, and it's been a good time. But fun time is over, little Dakota. See tonight, you got the chance of a lifetime, a shot at the RWL Women's International Championship. All you gotta do, honey baby, is beat me in a 2 out of 3 fall, steel cage match. I should thank Liberty Bell, because she's the big yapper who suggested it. She should be grateful, because there's gonna be nothing left of Dakota Kai for Heathcote to pick through when I get Dakota inside that cage, because JD is not losing this women's international belt.
It's outrageous. On Sn Rl tonight, a 2 out of 3 fall steel cage match for the Women's International Championship between Dakota Kai and the Whip Kitten Jody Vorick.
This next, best of 3 fall steel cage match, set for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Women's International Championship.
I mean, guys, this is nuts. How often do you see a steel cage match on Snarl? Jody Vorek must be pretty sure she's gonna retain the Women's International Championship.
Well, there's a lot of guts from both sides here, choosing to willingly engage in a best-of-3 fall steel cage match. Gutsy for Dakota Kai, with the streak of bad luck we've seen in the pre-match package and as brutal and volatile as her confrontations with Jody Vorek have been. Here she is, ready to undergo her most difficult challenge since landing here in our WL. Then, you've got Jody Vorek, who's still sporting some bruises from her Hell in a Cell match with Liberty Bell Danielle in March. She's earned tons of experience in specialty matches.
And most of them against Danielle Heathcote, hardcore matches, steel cage matches, casket match, and of course the Hell in a Cell at the Spectrum. Dakota Kai isn't going to have anywhere near the level of experience Jody's coming into this one with. I don't see the Women's International Championship changing hands tonight.
But there ain't gonna be no question marks at the end of this one. There'll be nobody at ringside, no seconds, which means we gotta have a clean finish, one way or another.
Love or hate Jody, not having the $1 Million Man ringside won't make any difference since Jody Vorek has gone it alone plenty of times with no problem. In fact, she's probably more focused with no distractions from her opponent. And man, she can really let her inner mean shine through.
And if she made the challenge to Dakota Kai, and she put the Women's International title on the line, she obviously knows something we don't. But I'm favoring the champ in this one. It's a steel cage match and Jody can handle herself in one of those. You know, another interesting thing about this is that Dakota Kai is getting this title shot after really not being here all that long.
The challenger from Auckland, New Zealand, here is Dakota Kai. Her opponent from Montana, California, she is the reigning WO Women's International Champion, the Memphis Millionaires, Wicked Jody Vorek. Jody Vorek, not one to shy away from a challenge, awards the blame for this match on Danielle Heathcote for publicly suggesting it. Jody has implied it's a shame Danielle didn't want to make it a triple threat match.
All right, they're lower in the cage. Dakota Kai and Jody Vorek, Women's International title, best of 3 fall steel cage match, and here we go. Jody Vorek, caught up by Dakota Kai, snap suplex. Dakota Kai moves in, locks Jody up, takes her toward the ropes. Dakota Kai bouncing Jody Vorek off the ropes with hard forearms to the back. Goes behind her, Jody again, slams her down, goes for a cover. But only a near fall. Jody Vorek catches a double boot stomp to the midsection. A kick to the chest. Dakota Kai misses with that stomp. Jody with a slap and another suplex to Dakota Kai. Jody Vorek again, another one-arm suplex this time. Good kitten, Jody Vorek misses with the slash. Dakota Kai, one-arm backbreaker. Jody Vorek in trouble on the canvas. Dakota Kai starting to open up here. Fireman's carry from Jody. Dakota Kai with a kick to the midsection. Sets her up, look at this. Whoa! Nasty spinning neckbreaker from Dakota Kai. Dakota whips Jody to the ropes, ducks under. Nice power slam. Jody Vorek back up on her feet. Rounds up Dakota Kai again. Has her up for the vertical suplex, but Dakota Kai counters, goes behind, delivers a shot to the back. Whips Jody Vorek out onto the apron between the ropes and the steel cage. Jody Vorek Hung up on the top rope, down she goes. Dakota Kai going for a cover. One. But only just a one. Dakota Kai. Rounds Jody up again. Hard whip to the ropes. Here comes Jody. Another arm drag power slam from Dakota Kai. Look at this, making her way to the top. Here we go. Oh, double boot stomp off the top turnbuckle. Dakota Kai grabbing control of the match from Jody. Jody with a kick to the head. Jody Vork takes her down. Jody locks up Dakota Kai. There's the belly-to-belly suplex. He's beaten Dakota Kai with that one. A backbreaker to Dakota Kai. Jody Vork goes behind. German suplex. And she is just a suplex machine, ain't she? Jody Vork rounds up Dakota Kai. Couple of chops, a kick, grab to the ankle. Dragon Screw takes Dakota Kai down. Getting back up to her feet against the ropes. Jody tries for the side suplex, but Dakota Kai with a beautiful counter. And Jody's back into the turnbuckle, turns her out to the center ring, goes for a cover. Only just a one. Dakota Kai slamming the face of Jody Vork into the canvas. Jody back up on her feet, charges, misses with the running knee. Jody has a rough backbreaker to Dakota Kai. Oh, nasty knee to the face from Jody Vork. The women's international champion with Dakota Kai in an inverted suplex. Dakota Kai back on the defensive. Jody Vork literally fighting the hand of Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai catches a knee to the arm from Jody. Jody goes back for seconds here. Another knee driven into the arm of Dakota Kai. Dakota rounded up. Jody Vork, look at this. With the package, with the pin. 1, 2. Well now, just another near fall for Jody Vork. Dakota Kai catches a stomp to the face. Jody Vork going in for a crossface, a possible submission here. She's got it locked in. Dakota Kai with nowhere to go. But no, Jody releasing the hold. Look at this laughing at Dakota Kai. I guess she figures she's got this one in the bag. Jody Vork rounds her up. Catches a jawbreaker from Dakota Kai. Takes her to the ropes. Nails her with a kick. Hard whip to the ropes for Jody. Dakota ducks under. Arm drag. Dakota Kai with a series of kicks to the leg. Another kick to the midsection. Another kick to the midsection, and Dakota Kai setting this up here. That inverted spinning neckbreaker from Dakota Kai. Dakota, of course, uses that chiropractor finisher. And she's used it on Jody Vork, and Jody Vork didn't like it not one bit. Jody escapes the corner. Whips Dakota Kai to the head first into the steel. Dakota Kai got nailed with that one. Jody Vork rounds her up. Drives a knee into the leg of Dakota Kai just about center ring. Dakota Kai counters with an arm drag, slams her down face first to the canvas. Follows it up with a series of stomps. Jody Vork back on the canvas, back onto the defensive. Jody Vork in trouble here. Look at this double boot stomp from Dakota Kai. Again, Jody Vork can't take too much more of that. A series of short kicks and a slam of the face to the canvas from Dakota Kai to Jody Vork. Again, the Women's International Championship on the line. Best of 3 falls. We ain't got nothing like a fall or a submission yet. Jody Vork taken down to the canvas. Dakota Kai slams her face down to the mat. Dakota Kai Walking. Jody Warwick here. Let's see what this... There's a kick. Dakota rebounds off the rope. There it is, the chiropractor. Nails Jody with it. Here's a cover. 1, 2. And there's just a 2. Jody Warwick getting that left shoulder up. Dakota Kai can't believe it. And as Jody Warwick gets up from there, Dakota Kai's going to pay for using that chiropractor. Look at this. She misses. Jody nails her with a right. And Jody's mad. Whips Dakota to the ropes. Goes behind. Suplex with a pin and a bridge. But only just another near fall. Jody Warwick nails Dakota with a right. Locks her up. Almost drove her into the steel. Dakota putting on the brakes. And here's a possible submission. Jody Warwick stretching the leg of Dakota Kai. Dakota turns herself over. Fights her way out of the hole. Pinfall, submission. Or you can climb out of the cage. Those are the rules. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Jody Warwick. A kick from Dakota Kai. Wicked kick from Dakota Kai right to the face of Jody. Jody seated into the far corner. And Dakota Kai starts putting the boots to Jody. Rebound off the rope. There's a face wash. Jody Warwick rolls out of the corner. Dakota Kai still stalking Jody Warwick. Jody counters with an elbow. Locks up Dakota. One-arm backbreaker from Jody Warwick. Jody again biting the hand of Dakota Kai. She was never going to be polite in this one anyway. A series of kicks from Dakota Kai. Swing and a miss. Jody Warwick takes her down. Jody has her up, inverted vertical suplex from the whip kitten. The Memphis Millionaires moves in on Dakota Kai. A counter whip to the ropes. Look at this. Dakota can't even catch up with her swing and a miss. Jody Warwick rebounds off the ropes and takes down Dakota Kai. That was absolutely beautiful. Wow. Jody drives an elbow. And another into the chest of Dakota Kai. Goes for the cover. And there you go. We got our first fall. Jody Warwick picks up the first fall in this 2 out of 3 fall match. One more and she's home free. Jody stomps the arm of Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai with a running drop kick takes her down. There's a kick from Dakota. Dakota whips Jody to the ropes. Look at this. Nice takedown and an even more beautiful kick to the chest to Jody Warwick. Dakota Kai with Jody back on the canvas and all the time in the world. She makes her way to the top turnbuckle. There's another double boot stomp. Jody was motionless, going for a cover here. But no, Jody powering out. Jody Warwick gets back up to her feet. Dakota Kai with a forearm takes her back down again. Dakota Kai with a kick. Rolls her over for a pin here. Look at this. No, a submission. How about this right here? Jody Warwick in big time trouble here. Jody counters and escapes. Dakota Kai makes her way to the top again, but changes her mind. Jody getting back up to her feet here. Dakota Kai has her up over the shoulders. Wow. Stunned her with the knee. Here's a cover. And now it's tied up at 1 apiece. Dakota Kai picking up a pin over Jody. And she looks confident too. Series of short kicks slams Jody face first into the canvas. She knows she's just one pinfall away from becoming the Women's International Champion. Jody rolls out of the way. Locks up Dakota. Drives a knee into her midsection. Dakota Kai gets back to her feet. Jody clubs her with a right. Locks her up again. Whips her to the far corner. Jody with a chop across the chest. sets her up on the top turnbuckle. And takes her for an arm drag ride. Dakota Kai. Laid out about center ring. Jody with a stomp to the face. The whip kitten wraps her up for the crossface again. Has her center ring, stretching her. She's in big. There it is. She is tapping out. Jody Boric retains the Women's International Championship by submission. 2 out of 3 falls.
The time, 12 minutes and 13 seconds. Your winner to falls to 1, and still Women's International Champion, Jody Boric.
Dakota Kai was in there fighting for her life most of that match. She managed to get just 1 fall on Jody Boric, but the whip kitten retaining the Women's International Championship. And we'll be back with our main event right after the break.
In tonight's main event matchup, Kurt Angle, without Georgia Washington now, back in the championship hunt, challenging double champion Roddy Piper for the RWL Legends US title.
Angle, now done with Georgia Washington, and she with Kurt, the Olympic hero, is back on the scene looking for another championship run, something he hasn't had since losing the Lights heavyweight title back to Sir Reggie Smythe. Question is Kurt up to the challenge of a very red-hot Roddy Piper? Hot Rod's not exactly gonna let the Legends US title leave easily.
Who can say, man, maybe his luck will improve without Georgia standing ringside.
That's exactly like you said. He's held gold before. And the chances are real good he could hold gold again, maybe even tonight.
Kurt already knows he's gonna have to give it 110% to get past Piper, a seasoned veteran with a good luck streak. Roddy Piper is gonna use every trick, every gimmick in his book to hang on to the Legends US title.
And here is the hot Scott, the Legends US Champion, Hot Rod Roddy Piper, ready to go against Kurt Angle, defending that title. Not the only one he's got, he also got the Legends World Championship too. And he is going to want to hang on to both of those.
Piper's been around the Legends division for a lot of years, but 2025 has been his very best so far, snagging a pair of championships for himself, and no question about it. Kurt Angle is gonna have to stay very focused to outwit the Hot Scott.
The crowd here in Winter Park, Florida, greeting the Legends US Champion and the Legends World Champion, Roddy Piper. He's got a lot of fans in his corner tonight in this title defense.
Tonight's star main event, set for 1 fall with a 15-minute time limit, and it's for the RWL Legends Division United States Championship. The challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 223 pounds, Kurt Angle. His opponent from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing 227 pounds, the reigning RWL Legends US Champion, Roddy Piper.
Alright, main event fever taking over control of the crowd here in Winter Park, Florida. As Tom Canamora rings the bell. Big comes center ring. Kurt Angle with Roddy Piper up, takes him down. Classic wrestling takedown. A kick to the back. Piper back up on his feet, catches another kick from Kurt Angle. Angle winds up the arm. Kurt Angle working on that arm, takes Roddy Piper down to one knee. Really working on the arm and shoulder. Piper counters it, takes him down. and stretches Kurt Angle's arm. This is going to be a great match. Roddy Piper moves in, has Kurt Angle up. Kurt Angle counters with an elbow, gets himself free, clothesline, takes Roddy Piper down. Kurt Angle with a kick to the back. And another. Kurt Angle rounds Piper back up. But this, leg scissor, but Piper's going to try and fight his way out of it. He's already trying. Kurt Angle's got it locked in really good. Piper fighting as hard as he can to get out of it. Delivers a couple of elbows to the side of the head of Kurt Angle and gets himself cut loose. Piper with a gouge of the eyes. Winds up Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle counters with an elbow from behind. Piper, the gut-wrench suplex on Kurt Angle. Angle rounded back up. Piper has him up. Takes him up over the shoulder, but Kurt Angle counters with a chop block. Takes Piper down. Piper back up on his feet. Gets a hold of Kurt Angle. Whips him to the ropes. Takes the wide. Kurt Angle with a kick. Rounds Piper up. Piper counters it into a back body drop. Roddy Piper with a fist drop to the head of Kurt Angle. And a kick to the back and a stomp to the chest. Roddy Piper determined to hang on for the Legends U.S. Championship in this main event. Roddy Piper, well, look at this. Roddy Piper resorting to by any means necessary, huh? Okay, we see how it's going. We see what this guy's about. Kurt Angle taken down by Roddy Piper. Piper. Well, look at this. The referee getting everything nice and neat. Roddy Piper countered by Kurt Angle. Whipped over the top rope out onto the floor. And Kurt Angle is lit up. The Olympic gold medalist swings and misses with a right. Piper and Angle back in the ring. Angle goes behind. Suplex with a pin. One. But no, Piper finds his way out. Kurt Angle goes behind. A little bit of a gator roll here. Angle misses with the kick. Roddy Piper with an inverted atomic drop. Kurt Angle falls to the mat. Piper with a stomp to the head. Roddy Piper working on the head and neck of Kurt Angle's center ring. Slams his head down to the mat. Piper going for the cover here. One. But only a one. Kurt Angle gets himself out of that one. A kick to the back from Piper. Piper puts on the brakes and slams him down with one arm. Nice work from the hot Scot. A stomp to the back of the head. Angle counters with a couple of kicks. Moves in. Piper. Look at the counter from Kurt Angle here, and a flying elbow takes down Roddy Piper. Kurt Angle working on the head and neck of Roddy Piper. Slams his head down to the mat. The Olympic hero going right back to work relentlessly on the head and neck area of Roddy Piper. Kurt Angle covers. One. Only a one. Kurt Angle gonna have to start all over again. Starts with a kick to the back to Roddy Piper. Back up on his feet. Hot rod. Whips Angle to the far corner. Turns him around. And here it is, running Bulldog. Angle slammed face first into the canvas. Roddy Piper looks like he's back in control for the time being. Kurt Angle up on his feet. Roddy Piper going for the sleeper hold. And that could be it. Tom Canamora checking on Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle counters with a jawbreaker. Disengaging the hold. Angle whips Piper to the corner. Charges clothesline. Takes down Roddy Piper. Kurt Angle covers. One. Only the one again. And barely just a one. Angle rounds Piper back up. Look at this. Roddy Piper counters so quick you almost didn't see it happen. Elbow to the shoulder. Kurt Angle counters. Roddy Piper counters. Takes him down. Look at this. Roddy Piper, single leg grab on Kurt Angle. Angle trying to make it to the ropes, going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. And he gets himself loose. Look at this, inviting Piper to come back. Again, the Legends U.S. Championship on the line here. Angle charges, hard right hand. Takes Roddy Piper down to the outside. The ref starts counting. Piper rolls back inside by Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle follows him in. Rolls him over, covers, and hooks the leg. 1, 2. Only another near fall. Roddy Piper still involved. Kurt Angle rounds up Piper. Piper whipped to the far corner. Shoulder charge, misses the mark on a clothesline from Piper, puts Angle on the outside. Hot Rod all the way up on the top, misses with the elbow. Kurt Angle deftly stepping out of the way of that one. Angle rolled back inside the ring by Piper. Hot Rod again doing whatever he's got to do to hang on to the Legends U.S. belt, loosening up that turnbuckle. Tries for the neck breaker. Angle counters it with an uppercut. Angle goes behind on Piper. German suplex. He's still got him. He's going for a second. He's going for all three of them. He's going for the hat trick. There it is. All three German suplexes from Kurt Angle on Hot Rod. The Legends U.S. title could be on the line right here. Angle covers. 1, 2. Wow. Hot Rod still in the game. Kurt Angle has to start all over again and hope Roddy Piper doesn't take control. Look at this. Look at that suplex. The trap suplex from Kurt Angle. Angle rounds up Piper. Hot Rod whipped to the far corner. Clothesline takes Piper down to the canvas. Kurt Angle drags him center ring. Turns him over. Here we go. He's got the ankle lock. He's got it in. Roddy Piper in big time trouble here. Roddy Piper fighting it, but fighting it as hard as he can. He's tapping, that's it. The referee's calling for the belt. Kurt Angle is the new RWL Legends Division U.S. Champion.
The time, 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Your winner by submission, and the new Legends U.S. Champion, Kurt Angle.
Now that is a surprise upset. Kurt Angle taking away the Legends U.S. Championship from Roddy Piper, taking him down to just the Legends World title. But Kurt Angle finally gets himself some gold around here, and did it without Georgia Washington. Ironically, both him and Georgia Washington won their matches tonight. Maybe the split up is going to be mutually beneficial, guys.
Okay, gang, that's it for this week's Snarl. What a wild one it's been, though. Thanks to all of you, as always, for supporting our WL Wrestling. Coming up next, our WL telecast. It's gonna be a special to our edition of Ladies' Night. We'd sure love to see you there. We'll return next Saturday, June the 14th with more Snarl. For all of us here, Wally Cardell saying thanks, good night, and be safe.